Hello and welcome to episode 16 of my Terraforming Mars strategy guide. Today we're gonna look at a game I played on the Mars app where I went for the card strategy, and this game is quite insane. Mainly my opening hand is completely insane, but I'm gonna show you. So I actually already cropped this replay down and I realized I cropped it a little bit too aggressively maybe, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause sometimes when there's an interesting choice I have to make. So I got Terraforming Critical. I'm gonna go for Terraforming, and the reason I go for Terraforming in this game is that I have a couple of Earth tags in my opening hand. I don't really have a lot of cards that cost 20 plus. Here when it comes to the prelude, these are not the best, but I'm gonna choose the 2 prelude that actually has a science tag on it, and the whole reason is I want to play AI Central in the first generation. So this is definitely one of the best opening hands I've ever had. I talked about this opening hand a lot in episode 3, the card strategy, but the whole reason this opening hand is insane is that I can play AI Central in the first generation, and on top of that I have 2 Earth tag mega credit amplifiers. I got Miranda Resort, and I think I have Cartel, and I have a couple of other Earth tags, so this hand is amazing. And just the cherry on top, Olympus Confis is like the best card in the game when you're going for the card strategy. And then I have a mass converter. I don't quite have 5 science tag yet, but I have 4. So I just need to pick up 1 more science tag so I can play mass converter, and then my hand is perfect. Yeah, Biolab. To be honest, these are not the most interesting preludes, but they do come with a bit of cards. Like the plan production I don't really care about at this point, but it's just for the science tag. AI Central in the first generation. Yeah, it's so good, man. So I hope this video doesn't go too fast, because I did realize when I watched this I cropped it a little bit too much. So Sabotage here, I just use it because I already calculated that I could play my hand even after playing it, and worth noting that's one of the free cards I got, is the Sabotage. Lunar Beam from an asteroid, oh that's interesting. That's only because it has an Earth tag, so I'm setting myself up for better Cartel, but I actually kept another energy production card in my opening hand. I just ended up not needing it, because when I have an energy production on an Earth tag, that's obviously a little better for me right now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. AI Central first generation, all I wanted. Second generation, LG, I don't know, none of this looks good to be honest. GHG Factory, this is actually really interesting. I'm gonna pause here in a second, because so I'm gonna pause here. So we have up to 4 cards, and when I played this I'm like, alright, all of this kind of look like trash, this is not what I want right now. So you won't believe it, but this is one of the most important decisions of this game. So I'm looking at these 4 cards that doesn't look that interesting to me. However, there is GHG Factory and Insulation. So if you add GHG Factories to the 2 heat production I already have, that's 6 heat production that I can make into mega credit production. So when you calculate in the cost of the card, it's like 19 gold just to get these 6 mega credit production. So I remember really thinking about this, and I'm like, nah, screw this, man. I still have some Earth tags in my hand I want to play. I have the Earth tag amplifiers. I have so much card draw. I should be able to get some better engine than this. But the thing is, I really don't. So looking back, the correct decision here is actually to keep GHG Factory Insulation and play this, and then in the next generation, then I'm probably gonna play all the Earth tag amplifiers. That probably would have been the play. But the thing is, I have so many Earth tags, and I have like Earth tag amplifiers, and now I'm gonna draw 2 cards, and then I'm gonna draw another card with Business Network, and I have a lot of stuff going for me. So I think it's the right decision to not go for these like kind of suboptimal mega credit production cards when I have so much stuff in my hand. But it's hard to say, because the thing is, in this game I have everything. I have all the card draw I want, I have got some nice quality cards, but the one thing I don't have is mega credit production. My mega credit production is really gonna struggle. So right here I get 5 plus 5 for the 2 for the Earth tag, so that's good enough. I mean, my start here, I can't complain. The start is completely insane. It's very perfect. But from here on out, now I played my 2 Earth amplifiers, so I got like, I think 10 mega credits out of these 2 cards. That's fine. But from now on, I'm really struggling to get more mega credit production. And as we talked about already, you both need mega credit production and card draw. This game has card draw all over the place, but I'm really struggling with mega credit production and money income in general. But it's really interesting. So I think a lot of people are like, I lost a game of Terraforming Mars, my opponent has more mega credit production, what can I do? No, a game of Terraforming Mars, it's about so much more than just getting mega credit production. This game here is like the perfect example. So even though I don't get out much mega credit production, I'm still gonna crush. My score is gonna be insane, especially considering that it's gonna be a 3-player game, and it's only gonna be, I believe, 10 or 11 generations or something. So everything is just working out for me. But I'm just saying that if I had more mega credit production to go with this insane starting hand, then I could definitely hit like, I don't know, 200, even though it's a 3-player 11th generation game. Which is good. Usually two-player games can generate more than 200, especially if they go to like 14 or something. But 11 generations for 3 players, then my score is gonna be absolutely fine here. So I'm keeping a couple of good late game cards here, like this a plant per city card I just kept. Yeah, looking at milestones. Once again, we are at generation 3, so it's not like I'm gonna pick them up right now, but it is a 3-player game, and I feel like I'm ahead at this point. Yeah, so here I'm definitely looking at the milestone. So this guy has the specialist, but I'm thinking, well, maybe, I mean, if he wants it, he can claim it at the start of the next generation, because he's actually gonna start the next generation. So I'm just gonna focus on my old games. I'm gonna sell a card here, because that's just what I need in order to play immigration shuttles. So this is one of the cases, even though I have like the city card that reduces cards by 1, it's actually better for me to get the immigration shuttles down, because even though I could have gotten that for 1 cheaper next generation, the fact that I played it now means I have 5 more gold next generation, so that's more than 1 gold. So some really interesting cards here. I'm looking at Inventor's Guild, Medical Lab. I think Medical Lab would be great if I have a lot of building tags, especially considering that my mega credit production could be a little bit better. I mean, honestly, most of the time when you're going for the card strategy, something like Inventor's Guild would be really good. But like I said, in this game I have a lot of card draw and I have very little mega credit production. So I think maybe Medical Lab could be an idea here, but I don't know how many tags I have. Maybe I'll check that. I'm gonna go for Inventor's Guild. Okay, makes sense. Anti-gravity, holy shit, it's not even close. Yeah, let's go. So now the game has changed. And now Mohol area, I don't care about this. I think maybe, yeah. So Industrial Center I'm keeping because I can get a little bit of value on this, and I think it's also because of one of the milestones, if I remember correctly. But now I have research outposts, I have anti-gravity, and to be honest... Oh, he actually let me get that one. Okay, yeah. Well, if he doesn't want the milestone, then obviously I have to take it. And I got Iron Mining Industries, but at this point I have so much stuff I want to play that I can't really play Iron Mining Industries. So Industrial Center, this is also because of a milestone, otherwise I would have played this later. Like it would have been more efficient to play it after anti-gravity technology, but this is definitely because of the other milestone, I think. Yeah, now I'm getting 1 steel production. That's alright, that's because of the generalist. So the thing is, I know I'm gonna start the next generation, so this is why this is... you could even debate if it's still worth it, but it's all said and done, it's still a good play, because now I can start this generation here. I'm gonna pause again. Yeah, because I can start this generation by claiming this milestone I just achieved, because I know that I can do this because I'm gonna be first player, so there's nothing they can do to stop me. So here we got Commercial District, Large Convoy. To be honest, with all the stuff I have in my hand, is it really worth it to go for Commercial District? There's also an argument to be made for Large Convoy. I think the thing is that I just feel like I don't have enough mega credit production. So I really, to get the dream game, I really need to get my engine up and running. So it's maybe also a bit greedy to keep Large Convoy just because this card could give me like 7 victory points in the late game. So it's a tough choice. These are definitely the 2 cards I should be looking for here. I'm gonna go for Commercial District. It's okay, it makes sense. And then I'm gonna go for Hackers. I'm not so sure about Hackers, man, but... And here the last 2 are not important. I'm not even sure I'm gonna keep Hackers, yeah. Okay, so maybe I've just kept Hackers just so nobody's gonna use it on me. That might actually been what it is. I don't even think I have the energy production to do it. So yeah, now I'm gonna take Generalist, then I'm gonna draw 2 cards. It's only the Generalist, it's only the one thing where I really wanted to do it at the first action. And now somebody is taking the bonuses on the heat, whatever. Gene Repair, I mean, it's still good. Yeah, so Research Outpost. So this is because it has a science tag, makes all my cards cheaper. Definitely what I want right now. I think I'm going for the steel down here, because this steel can be used for some other card that I have in my hand. Oh, I'm even looking at the last milestone. It would be funny if I get all 3. I can't remember, but let's see. Development Center, Mars University, of course. Yeah. So now we're in this phase of the game where, because I have this card, what are we, Cloud Seeding maybe? Yeah. Because I have this card, I kinda need to also have bad cards in my hand, just so I can cycle. So look at this, all of this I'm gonna cycle now. Search for Life is not great, but is there some other cards that's even worse? It could be Windmills, yeah. It takes a long time before Windmills makes any sense, so. And then what I'm looking for now is like the last milestone and also the anti-gravity technology. If I haven't played it yet, I don't believe I have. So let's see here. Space Elevator is a pretty clear cut. Oh, Mining Ride. I'm actually thinking about Mining Ride, but Space Elevator makes a lot of sense. Fish looks good. Land Claim, really? Is Land Claim? I think it's just so my opponent doesn't grief me. And then I got a Jovian Tech, that's fine. Yeah, this looks alright. You could have made the argument that I should have kept one more card just so I have something to cycle with, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna draw some cards. I wonder what the last milestone is here. I think I could be in contention to do something. But then again, even if I can claim the milestone, I also have anti-gravity technology here. Yeah, so this is what I mean. Release of Inert Gases is not a great card, but it's not a bad card either. So maybe I should have kept one more card just so I had some trash to cycle, because this card is actually kind of okay. Especially considering that it's 3 cheaper than normal. I think actually I'm gonna pause here, because I think this is why I didn't go for the milestone, because I think I'd planned it out in my head that I wanted to bring anti-gravity technology, and then I just have barely enough resources to play Space Elevator afterwards. It could even be the case that the reason I didn't pick up a bad card in the drafting phase is because I already did the math and thought, alright, well this generation I just want to play anti-gravity, I want to play Space Elevator. I think this is maybe what it is. So right now of course I'm paying with 3 titanium, but I'm not paying with the steel because I need the steel for the action afterwards. And to be honest, like milestones and everything, it's good and all, but this generation is still amazing. Like if you play anti-gravity plus Space Elevator, whatever man, you can have the milestones at this point. Oh, Hired Raiders. I believe this is a card I just picked up randomly with something. Might as well, just grief Saturn system a little bit. It's free for me, so why not? Yeah, and at this point I'm thinking, alright, these guys are actually terraforming a lot, which is annoying. I don't really want them to terraform that much, because I know that I have the dream game, I know that I'm gonna win definitely the long game. So it's a little bit annoying they are so keen on ending the game, but it is what it is. Acquired companies, it's a little bit late, generation 6, but it only costs 4, so of course, why not? And then this card is free. So this is like, when I talk about God mode and stuff, look at all these cheap plays I have available to me here. And it's only gonna get better at this point. So all of these cards that cost like 0s or 1s, it's just very efficient to just play all of these cheap cards. It's really the snowball effect. This one, yeah, I guess it's free. I don't like this card Windmill so much, but it is free, so it makes sense. You could make the argument that I should have, because now I need a card to cycle. So I cycled some energy production instead, but I could have also cycled Windmills and it would have been fine. But I guess I don't need the energy production, so maybe it's okay. So here, I think bushes maybe, but I think I'm gonna go for Great Escapement Consortium. To grief my opponent a little bit, maybe just because I don't cost 3, then I go for Comet. And then Colonizer Training Camp is the last generation where I can play that, so that kind of works out. So I guess I'm just hoping that my opponent, Deason, the purple guy, is not actually gonna terraform Oxygen, but we're close to a bonus, so I'm calculating that it's probably not. So I'm not actually gonna take the Space Event cards, which is interesting. Okay, Tycoon. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So I'm definitely Tycoon. I need to do that as soon as possible, and then alright, Training Camp as soon as possible, because now it's at 6. So if I'd waited before doing that, then I couldn't have actually played a card. And now I think, alright, I just top deck Earth Catapult, why the hell not? So I gotta be honest, I'm like, alright, I only have 15 mega credit production, it's kind of unlucky, only 1 steel, only 2 titanium and stuff. But when everything is said and done, I have 1 million cards, and now I have 5 discount of all cards. So this is why this game is still insane, despite the fact that I don't have mega credit production. So this is also the point I made before, that even though you don't have mega credit production, you can still go God mode, you can still have an amazing game. It's not about... It's not about mega credit production this game. It's about so many different things, so many synergies and stuff. So I think this guy, yeah, he left and now he comes back and he's confused. I think he just relogged because of a bug or something. But yeah, now his name changed back, so alright. So definitely a thing I could have maybe looked for here is the bonus. That's definitely what should be on my mind right now. The bonus on the oxygen scale, which is 1 temperature. Do I have any ways of contesting that with 9 mega credits? I need like 2 gold. It's kind of rough. But I think my idea is that I can't really do anything if they do it now. Okay, they do it now, that sucks. But in the next generation I would have started, so I still had a chance of getting it actually. Yeah, I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, screw it, they got it. It happens. Now I'm getting some more cheap cards, why not? I still haven't played Iron Mining Industries, and I think it's kind of correct because I had so much other stuff in my hand I wanted to play, but at this point I think Iron Mining Industries is definitely a card I should be looking for to play in the near future. I think that would make a lot of sense. And oh, this is nice. But I also noticed that I have this annoying search for life card. And I don't know, man. I've never actually hit this in my life. It never happens. I like the card because it's a cheap science tag and stuff, but I might not even use the active because I'm never lucky. I never get it. Yeah, I picked up Security Fleet. Not bad at this point. We are reaching the... actually, we're kind of reaching the end game pretty fast, which is annoying for me, but I mean, I'm still know that I'm gonna win it. There's no question at this point. Yeah, so I'm selling a card so I can play Imported Hydrogen. And I believe the reason for this is I can place it here, so I get 2 plants plus 3 plants, so that's enough to make a greenery. And I think definitely it's also because I'm waiting for my opponents to pass the generation, because then I will feel confident to just grab this bonus. Actually, I'm pretty sure they have passed at this point, otherwise I would have grabbed the bonus before. So even though I didn't get the oxygen bonus, then I'm still getting this water bonus, which is nice. So all of a sudden we have 3 waters placed, which is not in my interest. I want the game to drag out long, but you know, this was just such an efficient play that I kind of had to go for it. And obviously every time you can get a bonus, even though you're going for the long game, it's probably still worth it. And it looks like, oh, kelp farming, nice. And it looks like it's gonna be, unless it was Search for Life, was it? Oh man. It looks like it's gonna be water. That's the last parameter to close the game. Business network looks amazing here. Yeah, now I'm looking at the awards. I think that makes a lot of sense. This is the time of the game where definitely their first award should kind of be claimed already, but it's not for some reason. Capital looks cool. Capital looks really cool. Oh, and this one. This is an interesting one. Standard technology or the plant tag, plantation. I think plantation is better because I have like insects and stuff, but both of these cards are really good at this point. Like while enhancers have had insect, I think plantation is better. Also because I'm not sure how many standard projects I'm actually gonna end up making because I have so many cards. So definitely the right choice. So this looks like a capital to me. No? I'm not gonna play capital? Isn't that really good? Oh shit. Oh, I remember this. So yeah, I'm annoyed now because I was thinking capital and then I'm like, alright, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna pass along my turn. And then this guy, like, my opponents are like closing the heat and I'm left with 10 heat resources. So I'm actually really salty that I didn't just start the generation placing heat. But I guess my mind was on this capital. This is yeah, this is a good place for capital. The 5 mega credit production is a little bit late, but I don't know. I think it's still worth it for the 3 points it gives me. Plus, it is the late game. I kind of need just a little bit of presence on the map, a little bit of city synergy. And now we get to all the green tags. So in the previous generations, I wanted to play all of these cards, but I had some other stuff that was also important. But now it's definitely all about getting all the green tags down and playing insects. Insects is definitely what I'm looking for this generation. Ecological zone, yeah, it's fine. Also play into the award by placing it here. And this is what I mean. Just by playing this card. And before that I played, what's it called, Wild Enhancers. So this alone is a good play. And then we got all of this stuff, man. Look how cheap it is. And then I'm gonna get Mars, and I'm gonna get insects, and all of a sudden these cities I place here, especially the capital, all of a sudden this is like, it's gonna become a lot better because I'm gonna really catch up in plant production now for the last couple of generations. Maybe it only goes to 10. It doesn't look like it's gonna go this long this game. Wow. So now I'm at 20 mega credit production. It's a bit better. But it's still not, considering how much stuff I had, it's still not great. Oh man. So satellites, I think, is still worth it. I have 5 space tags, I can get a few more. Immigrant City, I mean, I'm obviously taking the Jovian Amplified, but the other one could have been Immigrant City, just so I can get a cheap city in the last generation or something, but nah, I can play this for 3 and all of a sudden I go from 20 to 26. So it's not like a big deal, to be honest. We're still late in the game, but it is something. So at this point I'm finally where I want to be with the mega credit production. I mean, the more the better, but this is interesting. Soil Factory, Earth Office. Normally I would think about Earth Office, but I don't think I have any Earth tags, so yeah, Soil Factory just for the 1 point I think would make a little more sense here. Yeah. Oh, Mineral Deposit. Yeah, sure. You never say no to just getting free steel, especially when you can use it. It's really good. Makes sense. Grass, heather. I think maybe heather. Yeah, because it just costs 1, so it's really cheap. The annoying thing about this game, normally when I go God mode, is like I have a ton of mega credits, I have a ton of cards, I can just do whatever the hell I want. In this game it's a little bit different because I kind of have to restrict myself to making optimal plays based on the fact that I don't have so much mega credit production. So that's stuff like keeping heather would make sense, yeah. And now I don't want to repeat my mistakes, so now I'm just playing 2 greeneries as soon as possible so I can actually get the last available TR on the oxygen scale. So I don't want to repeat my previous mistake of not getting the last 3 available TR on the heat. So yeah, Mineral Deposit for 0, why the hell not? Makes a lot of sense. And then we're going to Noctis City, yeah. I think on this map I can place it via normal city rules, so this makes a lot of sense also. So now my empire is pretty much set. I don't think I want to build more cities. I don't think I have the plant production to actually support more than I have now. I think this is fine. So now I really just want to play the rest of my cards, figure out how many generations are left. The good thing about being in my position here is that I definitely know that the opponents is like gonna pass the generation before I do, because I have so many actions, I have so many cards, I have so much stuff I can do. So I'm always gonna know if this is the generation we're gonna close the game or not. This is like 1 point for 3, probably fine. So the entire game is in my control, is what I'm trying to say. I don't have a problem with them closing the game now, I don't have a problem with them closing the game next generation. I would prefer it if they waited until the next generation, because I still have 17 cards in my hand. This guy has 2 cards, for example. And he has Predators, that's annoying. Yeah, he's definitely stealing from me. What is he stealing? Some animal worth half a point, I think. And yeah, just squeeze the last couple of TR out of a card like this. This is gonna give me like 2 TR, I'm assuming, because the game is probably gonna be over next generation. This is also interesting. It doesn't actually give me heat, but it does give me some like 4 plant production. So I must have done the math and figured out that this is probably worth it. Why the hell did I do this though? That's interesting. Normally I would play this in the last generation. Oh man, that sucks. But I think I played these greenhouses before because I have insects, yeah. So it's still debatable. It's like, do I think that there's gonna be 1 more city in the next generation? If there are 2 more cities or something, then this would not have been a good play. But I must have just imagined that there would be only 1 more city in the last generation. Because normally, I don't think greenhouses is a good indicator to play insects. Normally insects is better to just play in the last generation. Usually that gives you more plant this way. But at this point, these are only minor things, it doesn't matter that much. Selling something. Why am I selling? I could sell this. I must have an idea. of playing some sort of... Oh, it's a toll station? Did I just get toll station? I mean, it costs 5, how much it give me? 7? So I'm like squeezing another 2 mega credit out of playing this card. Actually only 1, because otherwise I could have sold the card. So I don't know, is it worth selling cards for this? Maybe. I guess I didn't really have much to do with these cards anyway. So yeah, so 2 points on this card. It's fine. I'm assuming I have some sort of animal worth 2. I don't even know if I have actually. What about the awards here? Oh my god, I still haven't played Iron Mining Industries. So I have 3 amplifiers in my hand. I think this... Oh, Lichen. This one is interesting. This one is really interesting. Because if I remember correctly, I'm gonna be having some issues. Yeah, I'm not sure if I keep Lichen here. Yeah. Because it's one of those cards that's like kind of good for me, but at the same time I have 3 amplifiers I want to play. So if this is actually the last generation, I could have just screwed myself by keeping Lichen. So I think this is why I didn't do it. But it's once again, these are minor things. So definitely, oh my god, decomposes. I would have loved to get this a bit early in this game, but still getting it now for free is fine. It's so hard, it's just gonna be the last generation. Now the stakes reshuffle. No, it's actually, I think I still want to go to 11, generation 11 if I can. I think my opponents, if they had been, I think they probably knew they were going to lose, so it doesn't really matter. But what they should have done, that being said, is they should have closed the game now, or maybe even in the previous generation, because in the last couple of generations I'm gonna get so much. But the interesting, I can't remember if this goes to 10 or 11. If it goes to 11, then obviously I don't want to play my amplifiers now. But if it only goes to 10, then I still need to have a lot of mega credit and stuff left over so I can play my Jovian amplifiers. So I think I have so many actions. What I should have done technically is just take 1 action, pass the turn, take 1 action, pass the turn. But I think I have so many actions and I'm like, they're still gonna pass before I do. So I know if it's gonna be 1 more generation. So I'm not wasting time. I'm not slow playing here. There's no point. So I did start some awards here. So are we getting 1 more generation? It would be kinda cool if we did. I think we are at this point. They still need to make 2 water. I don't think they're gonna do that. Search for life maybe? No, not gonna get it. Fuck this card. And now they're passed, I think. So now I know there's gonna be 1 more generation. So Iron Mining Industries, I still play this just because it gives a little bit of engine and because I might as well. I have 3 amplifiers in my hand, so yeah. So now that they passed, now I'm fine making 1 more water for 0. You might have been wondering why didn't I do this earlier? Because if I did that earlier, then they might have actually just closed the game. So I really have to be careful when I terraform, especially when I want the game to drag out. And a city. And I believe this was a standard city, just so I can get some nice placements for my greeneries here. Makes sense. I can't really recognize these awards here, but I think one of the awards is probably next to water. Estate dealer? Could that be the case? It's definitely the card that costs 20 plus. That makes sense. I'm definitely winning that one. But I wonder what the other one is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Inventor's Guild. Once again, it's a science tag. I have some science energy. It's okay. But it's not really an amazing card at this point because it's only gonna give me like I can use it now and then I can use the next generation. This is trash. And also worth noting, the cards have been reshuffled, so probably all the good cards are gone anyway. So, but I have some stuff I can do. I think Regulate Ethers, yeah, it's not good enough. But I have a little bit of this media archives is definitely gonna be clutch. I'm gonna wait until the next generation because I have so many events in my hand and maybe my opponent's also gonna play some events. So it doesn't really make sense to play it now, I don't think. Yeah, we're gonna wait. We're gonna chill. All good. All of this sucks, man. Commercial district, I guess, just for the VP. Yeah. I think that makes sense. The rest of them are pretty useless. And this card is like a greenery for my opponent. Ah, there we go, Lichen. I knew there was something about this card, so I just said no to it in the previous generation because I thought they would be the last. And now I'm like, alright, now, okay, apparently the last generation wasn't the last, so I could have played it in the last generation. So it's the Celebrity and Desert Settler. Okay, I see. So it's kind of ironic that I get Lichen 2 generations in a row, and I should have just picked it up in the previous generation, but you know, I didn't know it was gonna... I didn't know we were gonna go to 11 instead of 10 generations, so... I can defend myself on this one. So the last award, I should really look at this one. So Estate Dealer might look interesting. What am I doing? Huh? I'm getting one more city. What about the last award? Bonus? No? Maybe I'm not sure I can win it. Industrialist? Estate Dealer? Yeah, okay, I see. I can probably win Estate Dealer, but is it really worth... Okay, I'm going for it. So it's a little bit risky to go for Estate Dealer like this. And here is a really interesting choice, I believe, yeah. So this greenery looks ugly, but this is because of the Estate Dealer, And the thing is, you might be thinking, oh, I just kept Commercial District. Why didn't I put Commercial District in between those, my opponent's 2 cities and stuff? And it might have been better, but the thing is, I still have this problem of not having enough mega credit. So I think I might not even play Commercial District, so this is why I just wanted to ensure that I get the Estate Dealer right here, right now. I think this is my reasoning for doing it like this. And at this point I still have amplifiers in my hand, so the cards has to be really good if I'm gonna consider new cards at this point. I don't have as much money as I want to. But I don't think there's any race right now. I think I'm fine. I spend my plans and I secured the Estate Dealer as much as I can. I think the Desert Settler is already mine. I think I'm Gucci. Birds is really interesting. I think I have maybe it's the case that I don't have an animal worth one victory point per animal yet. So it could be that I have to play birds just so I can get more value out of my last few cards that gives me animals. Could be like this. And also, like we talked about, playing birds in the last generation is just a way to grief my opponents. In this game, I think I already checked them, so it doesn't really do much. Oh yeah, and here's another reason. I have Vile Enhancers. When I have Vile Enhancers, then birds is definitely worth it at this point, because now it's going to give me 2 points just for playing it in the last generation. It only cost me 5 gold plus 3 for the card, so... Yeah, this one for example. So this one can go on birds now. Otherwise I wouldn't have had an animal with... It would have been a little bit worse because then I had to put it on some of the other animal cards that only gave me like half a point per animal. So birds is actually pretty clutch. It's gonna end up giving me 4 points, I guess. Methane from Titan. If I play this card, then I definitely calculated I can also play the last Jovian Amplifier, Terraforming Ganymede. And it makes sense. There's actually, I mean, look at all these high quality cards in my hand. There's so much stuff. I want to play it all, but I just have to do the math at this point. And look at this Lichen. Oh man, yeah, I don't think Lichen was the play, ironically. And also Commercial District was not the play either. I was also too greedy. So now I'm actually selling some cards once again, just so I can play this. Imported Nitrogen is probably the best available option right now. So I could get 2 more on birds and stuff like this. So birds end up giving me 6 points. It's pretty good. Can I get anything else out of my hand? It doesn't look like it. I can get Legend. Oh man. Just for the ecological zone. It actually ended up giving me 1 point, which is funny. Because I got 1 more animal tag on what's it called? Ecological zone. So there are a couple of good cards in my hand still, but all said and done, I'm happy with this game, man. It's I just note when I see this starting hand I had in this game, I was like, it's no question, this game is gonna be amazing. So, and I think I had most of the stuff I want. I had a lot of good synergy. I had like the brand production could have been better, could have been a bit sooner. Holy hell, I only have 40 seconds. I just realized this. Yeah, when you're going God mode on the app, even though you have like no animations going on, you take the fastest animation possible, you still have to wait for animation. You still have to think a little bit. So 45-minute game, I think this was a 45-minute game. It just goes really quickly. So I get all the milestones, I get all the awards. Can't complain. And then all the cities, all the cards in the end is where I'm really making my points. So 168 points is a really good score, especially considering this is 3 players and we only went to 11 generations. Ironically, it's still like 100 less than my best on the Mars app, but we are gonna cover that in part 2, so that's gonna be the next video. But that was a 2-player game in 14 generations. That's how I made like 100 more points than this. So this game I think was really cool. I think I just have to show you this one because I got so much stuff out of all my card draw and all my synergies. So even though I didn't have a lot of gold, I didn't have a lot of money income, it was still like a really crushing game, and it just speaks to it's not only about Mega Credit Terraforming Mars. It's really cool. So thank you so much for watching, and see you for the next one, which is gonna be my high score on the Mars app, 278 points or something. It's gonna be great. We'll see.